This was against their agenda to continue oppressing and subjugating the masses, subjugating the Hindus, whom they were directly looting and profiting off of, have a voice. And that is why today the UN has officially recognized and seen and given a voice for all of the victims of violence. The audience has done so many different things in order to bring the research and studies of undertaken by the Supreme Council of Hinduism to analyze exactly how the improving the support to victims and any targets and vulnerable populations of femicide. And his Hinduism continues as well to report to the international audience and to continuously advocate for the thousands and millions of Hindu women who are continuously being subjugated, oppressed, crimes and violence that has been attacked against the women of Kailasa. And though this reports to work to eliminate the crimes done against women and allow justice to be served in some way. Now, by empowering, Hinduism has been actively helping the targeted individuals who are targeted for feminism. They're just simply for their Hindu lifestyle. And not only that, over the last 2 decades, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has continuously been empowering victims and the targeted population to support and to heal the victims of violence and ultimately to prevent them. And we've seen, for example, in so many of the ancient sovereign these Adinams and Sarvagnapitas and these ancient sovereign nations, these ancient kingdoms. And whether it is in Pavlakundu, Tanjavur, Tiruvarur, and all of these places, these primordial Adinams, which were established by Paramashiva himself, that where they can be empowered to live their most infinite possibility. And we can see some of the most devastating attacks, whether it is in Pavlakundru or Tiruchulam or in the media against so many women, directed attacks in order to attack them is ultimately an attack against the entire Hindu ecosystem. And all of the attacks that went on in Trishula and Pavlakundru and so many other places, the various evidence that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally worked so hard in order to way in the international audience, where they have undergone so much and yet still not having a platform to voice out and to share and to heal monasteries that were entirely attacked simply because they were ecosystems which were meant to empower Hindu women and which were meant to enrich the Hindu women to live their most infinite possibility. 2 months. The entire Adinam was absolutely destroyed and the women sexually assaulted and the deities absolutely abused. The women were then illegally physically assaulted, sexually assaulted, and some of them, to protect their entire ecosystem, were just saving and standing with their lives to protect the Hindu ecosystem of Pavlakundru in 2017. And these brave Hindu women dehumanized, raped, and violated to the most extreme. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism over the last 2 decades has their incidences of victimization and their experiences are brought out to the international audience. And today we have seen how the cars overturned where the women were brutally raped in front of the public, and that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was reviving in order to empower Hindu women. In that circumstance, we saw the brutal rape of our sister sannyasis. We saw the literal stoning of Hindu sannyasis, the destruction of property, and the most brutal violence that of without any current, without any form of protection. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally ensured that the crimes and our hardships, our experience of extreme suffering does not go unnoticed and made invisible to the whole world. At least in this sense, at least after today, the UN has finally recognized the persecution done against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the women of Kailasa. And in so many different ways, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has actually provided concrete measures to help, has provided physical protection through these ecosystems and ensuring that these ecosystems are shelters for any of the victims and the targets of the vulnerable, with leadership roles, as well as improving and in order to help empower women and eliminate, and in this women only Adinam, so much of attack was done. And we're seeing yes, and it is due to and empower humanity with this super conscious breakthrough. And every single day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is gracing each and every one of us with the live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Please sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. And let us chant the Mahavakya. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Continue chanting the Mahavakya, and let us get ready for the darshan of the incarnation of Paramashiva.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda